Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome. Let me brush my hair real quick. Think I haven't done it yet, so gotta look good on screen, even though I haven't shaved. But it so happens that when you're working this hard, finding time for a haircut could be a little difficult, but let's not worry about that right now. My YouTube is streaming, my Twitch is streaming. So we're good to go. Let me go ahead and close this window, and let me open Chat GPT. Okay, here we are. All right, so let me go ahead and move my OBS to my second screen. Here we go. Okay, great. Now I can see, and I can now verify and check to see if everything's working. My screen is working. My mask screen is working, and everything else, audio output is working. I can see my feeds, I can see my viewers, I can see whether it's recording or whether it's streaming on my second laptop. That's the whole point. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our next case scenario. In this case, we are gonna get some information from a video that I was watching. Now, I prompted my user agent, in this case, ChatGPT. I wrote down some notes over here based on on the video that I saw, and I prompted him to get me as much information as possible. So the prompt is get as much needed information from this transcript, and let's take what we think and know will make our video app better. So let me just double check something before we keep going. And this is, by the way, I also auto-generated the transcript, so hopefully that doesn't get me in trouble. And I just got as much pointers as I can from this video. Instead of, I did watch the video, but I think one of the fastest way for you to get information is to get the transcript and then go over it with your user agent, and then we can pinpoint together what it is that we need based on what the transcript says, right? So all right, so there you go. I prompted him the transcript. So first of all, it was too long, so it couldn't. I haven't given him permission to upload or to um like, what is it called? Like verify or look over certain files or files at all, which I should. Is like he says over here, I can analyze it, but this task window reader is again blocked from opening attached text files. The PowerShell process fails before reading the attachment. So then he says to paste it in here in these quotes and these I believe these are like backticks. So I'm supposed to paste it in between text and backticks, or it looks like periods right here, and then it will accept it versus accepting it as an attachment. So when I paste all that information in here, the transcript is so long that it it converts it into a file, and when it converts into a file, it then, whoa, what is this? Oh, yeah, it then oh, there it is. That's what I saw. Right, so it then converts into a file versus text, and then when you press the upload key or the prompt or the enter button over here, it then tells me that it can't analyze it because failed before reading the attachment, because it's an attachment. But if I copy and paste the actual text, it will work. But I have to copy and paste it in sections or in parts because it's too long. So part one is like a quarter, part two is two quarters or whatever. and then eventually it's able to read the text instead of an attachment. All right, so just so you guys can understand what's going on, and it's always good to learn new things, and that's one of the case scenarios that I was going through at the moment. So he said he's going to, after receiving it, I'll return useful features and worth adapting, ideas we already implemented, weak or unnecessary ideas to avoid, free local implementation options, paid options only where materially better, and then recommended changes to our milestone roadmap, any assistant tool schemas, the new features needed. Any assistant tool schemas, the new features need. Okay, so I would preserve the current architecture and won't recommend rewrites unless the transcript exposes a serious limitation. So here we go. So finally, I pasted the text. As you can see, as I was saying, this is part one, and if we look through it, part two is somewhere around here. What is this part? It is quite lumpy. Okay. And then this is part two. Okay, so that's pretty much what I did. So then after he read it, he then came to a conclusion. You see, it's quite lengthy. So that's why it turned it into an attachment or into a text file instead of just text. Okay, so the transcript contains several ideas that can materially improve our app without replacing the current architecture already implemented. This is what we already implemented. We already follow many of its strongest principles: local timestamp transcriptions, world level timestamp supports, FM MPEG heuristics for silence and scenes, transcript first processing to avoid analyzing thousands of video frames, JSON based intermediate data, specialized modules instead of sending everything to an LLM. Yeah, it's always good to get these information. We all know this is a large, yeah, we all know until let me look at it real quick so we can get these pointers as we move along. I would use my Gemini for these type of questions that I have. Large model. So I'm studying at the same time, guys. Even though I'm building this stuff, I'm still studying. I haven't taken any significant classes on this stuff, even though I should know what it means already. This is my way of studying. So if you guys can you know, have a little patience, and we're both gonna learn as we go. I know what this means, I just couldn't remember at the moment. So large language model, it is a type of artificial intelligence designed to understand, generate, and interact with human language. In fact, I am an example of large language models. So how they work. At their core, large language models are powered by complex algorithms called neural networks, most commonly a specific architecture called a transformer. Here is a quick breakdown of how they function. Massive training data, next world predictions, and scale. A large and LLM refers to the billions or even trillions of parameters. Parameters are the adjustable internal variables the model uses to make its predictions. So that's just something for us to take in and understand what we're working with. Large language models, okay? Great. I mean, these are keywords that you shouldn't forget and that you should do your best to always remember, because you're going to be speaking about this topic for a long time. If you're planning to use AI, large language models such as Gemini or ChatGPT, or also in my case, I believe that Git Copilot is also a large language model. So yeah, get used to it, right? And learn it. So 5 to 7 minute evaluation clips, global constraints that prevent invalid cuts, small synthetic integration test, assistant ready tool schema, and free processing by default. Local and free. Best addition to that, non-destructive edit manifest. So currently we create finished MP4 clips. We should also produce a JSON edit manifest as the source of truth. So basically, from that manifest, we can generate MP4 clips, Final Cut Pro XML. Yeah, also for DaVinci, DaVinci can also use Final Cut Pro XML. So we can use both. There's another version that we could use that's specifically for DaVinci. So we'll talk about that as we move forward. Standard EDL. There you go. DaVinci Resolve compatible timeline formats. This lets users recover removed materials and manually adjust AI decisions, which I think is amazing because then after the our AI editing video application finishes cutting our long videos, such as half an hour to hour to 2 hour videos, when it cuts it into 8 minute clips or 10-minute clips, I'm probably gonna up it up to 10 minutes. Right now it's between 5 to 7. So I'm gonna up it up to 10 minutes, and hopefully the cuts aren't gonna be as rough. So after it does the cuts and it cuts it into several clips, in this case, an hour-long video could turn into 12 clips between 5 to 7 minutes. Then I can go ahead and take the JSON, pop it into my DaVinci Code, DaVinci, what is it called again? Resolve, right? I'm gonna pop it into DaVinci Resolve again, guys. I've been working with these editing videos not for as long as I've loved to, but it's a work in progress. We're definitely gonna get there, that's for sure. So pop it into DaVinci, and then we can use the JSON again, like to pop it into DaVinci, and then we can make changes to the whole video, including the cuts and the clips that the AI clipped for us, those 5 to 7 minute clips. We can then fix them if it cut it off, let's say at the beginning or at the end. If it cut it off a little too short and it cut off some words, we can expand it and then keep those words. So that's my understanding of what we can do after we implement all the right resources. So we should add this alongside MP4 output, not replace the cutter, right? Yeah, exactly. So basically, let's read this again. This lets users recover removed materials and manually adjust AI decisions, okay? We should add this alongside MP4 output, not replace the cutter. So verbatim transcription mode. Okay, so the transcript, verbatim transcription mode. The transcript correctly identifies a weakness. Whisper can clean up speech and omit some. So this is still best editions, okay. Verbatim transcription mode. The transcript correctly identifies a weakness. Whisper can clean up speech and omit some, such as false starts, incomplete words, repeated attempts. Okay, that's good. So number 2, verbatim transcription mode. Maybe you'll clip that off since it's being repeated, right? For our existing topic-based 5 to 7 minute clips, Whisper remains appropriate. For a future rough cut editor, we need a separate verbatim mode. So free local baseline, preserve words timestamp, disable aggressive speech filtering, retain silence intervals separately, detect repeated phrases acoustically and lexically. All right. Never rely only on filter word transcription. So option paid gold standard, assembly AI, or another verbatim transcription provider. That provider should remain optional. Okay. So assembly AI, let's see what this is about. I've heard of it before, I never used it though. So let me see what he can tell me about this. Gemini. All right, so it's taking a little longer than usual. So what is Assembly AI? Assembly AI is an applied AI company that provides advanced APIs for speech-to-text transcriptions and audio intelligence. When collaborating with an AI to engineer a custom video editing application, especially system executing precise FF and PEG clip cutting, an API like Assembly AI serves as a powerful programmatic layer to turn raw audio into structure actionable data. So core capabilities, accuracy transcriptions, converts a pre-recorded files or real-time streaming audio into text across 99 plus languages, returning structure. Oh, wow. It converts the audio into different languages, right? Oh, text across. Returning structured JSON with word levels, timestamps, and confidence scores. So audio intelligence analyzes the transcribed text to detect sentiment, identifying topics, automatically generate chapters, and pull out key entities. So speaker um, diarization automatically identifies and labels different speakers in a recording, speaker A, speaker B. So Lamar framework allows you to apply large language model directly to transcribe audio data for custom analysis, summarizations, and complex workflow. Voice Agent API, a single WebSocket connection that handles real-time speech to text, large language model reasoning, and natural voice generation with a 1 second response time for conversational agents. Okay, so streamlining video production, managing a massive backlog of educational video content for platforms like YouTube or Twitch requires heavy automation by piping in the video's audio through a speech intelligence API. The editing pipeline can automatically generate perfect sync timestamp subtitles for instructional courses, create automated chapter markers, and lesson summarize for video description, pinpoint the exact timestamp of specific spoken phrases or topic to trigger automated clip cutting and rendering. Are you looking at integrating assembly AI transcription capabilities into AI editor current architecture to help process your video backlog? Okay. So what I get out of this is a very powerful video editor or it transcribes the video, right? API for speech to text transcription. Yeah. So from speech to text transcription and audio intelligence. So it's a go for me. I just want to know what are the prices. So let me see. Is it free? Is it free? And if not, what are the prices? Let's see if I could afford it. This is definitely gonna be eye-catching. So assembly is not entirely free, but it does offer a free tier or trial. No surprise there. So you can build and test your integration without upfront commitments. Once you move to production, it uses a straightforward pay-as-you-go pricing model based on the hours of audio you process. As of 2026, their core price is broken down by the type of models you need. Asynchronous transcription, pre-recorded video audio. If you are using if you are processing your backlog of 300 YouTube videos, you will likely be using this model. They process audio after it has been recorded. Universal 3.5 Pro is 21 cents per hour of audio. Wow. I don't think Trump was involved in this sale. If he was, I don't mean to, bash you Trumpsters. I'm not really into politics, by the way. All right, it was a joke. Anyways, nothing personal. This is their most accurate model and supports 18 languages, made of code switching, a highly accurate speaker. Diration, right? Universal 2 and Universal 3, 15 cents per hour of audio. These are highly accurate standard model that support up to 99 languages. No, on their flagship async model, powerful speech understanding features like speaker diarization, sentiment analysis, and entity detections are generally included at no extra cost, making budgeting very predictable. So real-time streaming, if you want to transcribe like audio, for example, to live captioning a Twitch stream as it happens, you would use their Stream API tier. Universal streaming English or multi-language is 15 cents, and the Pro Edition per hour is 45 cents. So voice agent API, if you are building an interactive AI agent where the AI listens, thinks, and speaks back in real time, wow, how does that even work? Where the AI listens, thinks, and speaks back. This is $4 per hour. The single cost covers the entire pipeline. Speech to text, large language model reasoning, and text to speech generation behind one connection. Add-on features. Depending on the model you use, some advanced features may cost a few extra cents per hour if they aren't bundled in the base price. Medical mode. Hmm. For complex healthcare terminology. Voice focus. Isolate the primary speaker and suppresses background noise on real-time models. Oh, these are add-ons, right? So for a massive video processing pipeline, the async model 15 to 21 per hour are incredibly cost effective. Processing a 20-minute YouTube video would only cost 5 to 7 cents. Do you want to explore how to pipe the JSON timestamps you get from the API directly into your FFmpeg cutting scripts? Okay. So let me see. So he says here, if you're processing your backlog of 300 YouTube videos, you will likely be using these models. They process audio after it has been recorded. Yeah, but I have it saved. So where's the part where he says that there are two versions? But it offers free tier. They use a straightforward pay as you go. Instruction is pre-recorded. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. So if you are, yeah. All right, guys. I think I got enough information. I like the information. Lack of a better word. Plus my main language, my main language or my first language is Spanish. So yeah. All right. Let's get back to the main focus. So basically, repeated take detection. So here's the part that we were studying at the moment. Optional pay gold standard. Try Assembly or another verbatim transcription provider. That pay provider should remain optional. So that's what he left that off. So let's leave it optional for now. And then as we move forward, we'll eventually make a decision. And obviously when I start making some sort of income, which I know is gonna be very soon, thanks to you guys, right? Put in all this hard work. Yeah. So then I'll add this optional feature, right? gold standard feature. So repeater take this detection. This is more valuable than basic filler removal. Add a future analyzer that detects when someone attempts the same thought several times and recommend keeping the strongest, latest complete take. Okay. So signals could include high lexical similarities, overlapping keywords, similar sentence openings, incomplete earlier attempts, more complete final attempts, audio confidence, and fluency. Right? So this must initially produce a recommendation, not destructive deletions. Okay. So create a specific editing profile. Okay, so generic AI editing is unreliable because creators have different standards. Add an editable profile such as editing profile, default.json, talking heads, presentation, and interview. A profile can define silence tolerance. So where are we adding these profiles, by the way? Okay, so they are just JSON. They're in JSON format and they're all different profiles. They're editing profiles, right? So the first one is the default. The second one is talking head, presentation, and then interview. So what can they do? What can a profile do, right? Can define silence, tolerance, prefer pacing, whether fillers may be removed, minimum retained segments length, repeated take policies, intro length, preference on transition handling, cut aggressiveness. Okay, users should eventually be able to create their own profile. Learn from user correction. The strongest product ideas is comparing. So you have product edit, users final edit. Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, the AI edit and then the user edit, which is the final cut, right? We should store both manifest and generate a structured difference report. I don't know if I should get this out of my chest, but I woke up this morning very uh, maybe sloppy is the word. I've been working at this for quite a while now. I had to drink my coffee. I thought like 4 times before drinking coffee because coffee can get you jumpy, but it's definitely an energy boost, and it is a yeah, it's like an energy drink, right? So it definitely helped out. So let's just keep going, you know. It usually sounds better when you listen to yourself. Right now, the thoughts are running around my head and all the errands I have to run today. So excuse me for that. But just wanted to put that out there. Don't give up, guys. Just do what you have to do. We're gonna be okay. So we should store both manifest and generate structured difference report. Okay, so the user agent kept, user removed. Okay, one more time. Learn from user corrections. The strongest product idea is comparing. User agent proposed edit versus user's final edit. We should store both manifest and generate a structured difference report. User agent AI kept, user removed. Okay. AI removed, user restore. And then boundary moved, earlier, later. Repeated takes selected differently. An optional logo, Olama, or free tier Gemini analysis can distill those differences into proposed editing principles. The user must approve profile changes. Okay, so that sounded a little confusing, but I get the picture. He's just comparing the edits from the user and from the user agent, the AI. So in one case, he keeps the user agent edit and removes the the actual user's edit, and then in the second scenario, he removes the AI edit and then restores the user's edit, and then he applies boundary moved earlier later. Okay, so as we move forward, we're gonna understand this a lot better, all right, guys? So here's the number 6, which is evaluation benchmark. So before claiming the apps improves, build a small evaluation set. So raw source video, human approved boundaries, user agent proposed boundaries, restore, remove regions, boundary distance error, incorrect deletion rate, missed natural boundaries, boundary rate, and duration compliance. All right. So this gives us a measurable improvement instead of subjective looks better claims. All right. So multiple processing modes, preserve our current mode and add future modes. So topic clips, current 5 to 7 minute. Semantic clips, rough cut, remove dead space and repeated attempts. Editor timeline, non-destructive XML EDL only. Short, optional later feature and analyze only. Produce recommendation without media output. So ideas to avoid. Do not send entire 20,000 line transcript to a large language model. Oh, really? Do not generate destructive final edit as the only artifact. Do not automatically rewrite editing profiles after every correction. Do not remove every filler word and often sounds unnatural. Do not assume one editing style works for all creators. Do not replace deterministic heuristic with large language model calls everywhere. Do not prioritize shorts before the core long form workflow is excellent. So updated roadmap. So finish the real milestone 7 fallback integration test. We already did that, didn't we? Implement the original. I gotta go back to that. Make sure that we're on the right step or milestone. So implement the original title and SEO description requirement at the Chronicle edit manifest at EDL and FCP, which is, I believe, is Final Cut Pro XML export. Add creator editing profile, add repeated take and rough cut recommendations, add AI versus human edit comparison, build an evaluation data set and scoring harness. So add optional Llama Gemini principal refinement, add face tracking and 9:16 ratio reframing later. The most important architecture change is additive. Make the edit manifest the chronicle output, then derive MP4 clips and editor timeline from it. This improves reversibility without rewriting our planner or cutter. So the system note. The system will eventually select the processing mode and editing profile while deterministic modules generate the manifest, validate every edit, and export the requested media or timeline format. So then I prompted him by telling him, hey, remember, I'm a Windows user. So make sure that the applications we're using are Windows-based as of right now. Hopefully in the near future, I can convert this into Mac OS and any other operating systems such as Unix if necessary. If you guys prompt me to it, I would love to do that for you guys. Oh yeah, we'll worry about that later. So yes, Windows is now our primary target with DaVinci Resolve on Windows as the primary professional editor. By the way, guys, if you're wondering what's my credentials, I have over 20 years when it comes to, um, development and programming. Now, it hasn't been as consistent as I intended it to be. Um, Life goes on. I go from consulting jobs to consulting jobs until I had to get a 9 to 5, and that kept me from coding. Um, Life, So, but my passion for coding has never ceased, and here I am. I'm still going full throttle. All right. So here we go. So again, yes, Windows is now our primary target with DaVinci Resolve on Windows as the primary professional editor. Our export priority will be MP4 clips, canonical JSON edit manifest, open timeline IO, prefer non-destructive interchange format because it is open source platform independent and supported by DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so the next one is FCP, Final Cut Pro XML, secondary Resolve compatible timeline export despite its Final Cut name. Resolve supports importing Final Cut Pro XML timeline. Okay, so CMX 360 EDL, basic compatibility, fullback but less compatible, complex audio and metadata. SRT VTT subtitles generated from whispered timestamps, resolve support time text imports. That's good. Okay, so we ensure export handles Windows absolute path and drive letters, path containing spaces, correct URI formatting where required. Yeah. Let me get back to my terms now. I know you guys think that that's not necessary, but I promise you it is. You need to look up these abbreviations and terms that you might question in the back of your head. Don't wait till later, or don't be ashamed that you're doing it like me live, where people are gonna be like, who is this guy? He doesn't know nothing. I don't want to say the word, doo doo. What is a URI? So URI stands for Uniform Reserve Identifier type. Just like URL, it's just a shorter version. It is a unique sequence of characters that identifies a logical physical resource on a network, such as a web page, an image, document, or an email address. So URIs provide a standard way for systems, right? So, oh, here's the verses part. A common source of confusion is the difference between URI, URLs, and URN. The easiest way to understand them is that the URI is the umbrella term, and URL and URN is a specific type of URIs. Yeah, that's hard to swallow, kind of, because we're all used to URLs, and URI is basically the parent, I believe, and these are just the children. If I'm wrong, guys, please correct me. I'm just going through these terms again after years of not stumbling upon them, but I'm back. So any strings identify a resource. So URL uniform, I'm not too proud of that, but yeah, that's great. URL uniform resource locator. So again, URI, the category, any string that identifies a resource, URL, uniform resource locator, right? A type of URI that identifies a resource by its location on the internet and specifies the protocol used to access it, like. Okay, great. That's enough of that. Okay, guys, so basically, after you read something, you're supposed to give your take on it. So basically, URI to me is the parent, these are the childs. So very simple, as it says over here. URI is any string that identifies a resource. In this case, URL is by location on the internet. So, you know, a link in the URL navigation bar right here, the search bar. This is this looks like a URL. Well, yeah, URL, right? That's what I got. So let's go ahead and move it. Actually, that's FTP. No, that's not FTP. That's wow. Another one flew off the cuckoo's nest. All right, so frame rate and drop frame time code. These will ensure exports handle, okay? To audio and video synchronization. So these are the stuff that we're going to ensure when exporting. So audio and video synchronization, source media relinking, reversible non-destructive cuts, resolve timeline import verification. So we will not center the workflow on Apple only Final Cut Pro. This XML will simply be one interchange option for resolve. Okay, so it's interchangeable between the resolve version and the Final Cut Pro version. All right. So the revised feature becomes AI edit manifest. MP4 clips, DaVinci Resolve OTIO, timeline, Resolve compatible FCP, XML, edit, fallback, and SRT VTT captions. So when we implement timeline export, we'll test by importing the result into DaVinci Resolve on your Windows computer. I like this. This is very important that I get to practice on DaVinci, and the fact that the user agent AI video editing app is gonna do some of the difficult work for me. All I have to do is just look at the videos that he edited and then make a final cut on DaVinci. Again, practice made perfect. I will be using DaVinci more often, which then is gonna make me an expert. Right, that's the plan. So when we implement, okay, when we implement timeline export, we test by importing the result into DaVinci Resolve on your Windows computer. When we implement timeline export, when we implement timeline export, we'll test by importing the result into DaVinci Resolve on your Windows computer. Checking media relinking, cuts, audio, and time code before approving the milestone. So, oh, that's amazing. Oh, wow. That is very nice. Yes. So after each milestone or before we complete each or approving the milestone, we're going to go to DaVinci. We're going to check media relinking, cut, audio, and time code before approving the milestone. This is definitely something I'm looking forward to do. The system notes, Gemini or Olama will eventually select the requested Windows export format, while deterministic exports generate and validate the Resolve compatible timeline files. Now, this video definitely needs a lot of editing. This one specifically, because I woke up. Yeah, I'm not gonna speak about that. Yeah, let's just say tired. But this too shall pass, right? So let's keep it right there. So great. I mean, I did start off with not knowing what LLM meant, so that really threw me off. Even though what I mean by that is that I didn't know the abbreviation, the actual wording, which I did, I just forgot. So let me stop. Let me stop thinking about my faults and mishaps and mistakes. All right, let's keep moving forward. So okay, maybe I'll keep this in the video, but it's definitely going to be in the live stream. So if you guys want to see my little hiccups and fumbles or whatnot, you could definitely watch the live stream. I don't think I'm ever going to change the live streams, just so you guys can see how one can go from a novice developer a novice video editor to a more advanced developer video editor. It's possible and it's going to happen. So let's keep moving forward. All right, that's good enough for this video. Okay, so now moving on to the next one. First and foremost, finish the real milestone 7 fallback integrations test, right? So here's the thing. I recall that we already did this. Wow, I need to like minimize this. This is taking a whole bunch of space. Show less, right? Um, so let's see if this milestone was completed on this end. I doubted it was. Okay, this is part of it. Milestone 7 implemented. Yeah, because I have two different conversation windows. This is number 2 and this is number 1. Best video clipper 2 and best video clipper 1. So as of right now, for some reason he believes that we didn't finish it, or it also looks like he might want us to repeat it and run a real test now that we have a different roadmap. Yeah, no, that's not the case. We never finished it on this conversation. We finished it on a different conversation. Okay, so we ended up here in our building the skill prompt. See, did we save a skill trigger for this for my future projects? I would like to follow the same flow when building other apps. So still remaining real fallback verification, title description, assistant execution, and optional auto retraining. So how do I give them that information that we already ran this? Because now I'm in this conversation. Now if we go to this one, I'm gonna show you that we already finished it. I think I'm on like 10 right now. We're on milestone 10. See, milestone 10 is completed and approved. We might have to rerun these because we want to make sure that we can now start editing with DaVinci. So it looks like this might be the best next step. Let me just give him this information. Hopefully he'll understand that there are two different conversations that we're using here. So what milestone are we up to? I believe it's 11. Um, this is 10. Success. Yeah, this is All right. Milestone 10 is completed. Okay. And approved. So next is milestone 11. Build a local API and job status a layer so a future web interface can upload a video. Start processing, monitor progress, and retrieve results without invoking terminal commands manually. All right, so let me give him a print screen of this. So we did test a video of 1 hour and 13 minutes, and it worked. It was a real world run. Whisper will analyze over an hour. And excellent, the long form production test succeeded exactly as intended. So the results were these are the results. It was 13 clips and metadata generated. Information about information, right? The the title and the description is in the metadata and the manifest, right? Okay. So technically we're supposed to be moving to milestone 11. But we need to figure this out right now because I'm in a different conversation chat window, and we need to make sure that he understands that we're not on milestone 7. So let's see what he tells us. Currently, there are 2 versions of build video clipper. One and let me give him a screenshot. Excuse me. Grace. So I am not sure if we should restart or redo the milestone 7 or earlier. Uh-oh. Forgot how to spell, guys. Yep. I forgot how to spell. This is how much fun I'm having here. And it's not giving me an option. Wow. Yes, this is it. This is definitely it. This is uh-oh. Yeah, guys, sorry about that. I am mentally going through a little brain fart or a huge one. Here and Lear. I thought I. Ay, Dios. That's what happens when we speak two languages. Okay, currently there are two versions of build video clipper. So I'm not sure if we should redo milestone 7 or earlier. Take a look and let me know. Take a look and let me know what is the best approach. To follow the new roadmap. However, we do well, let's see what he says. I don't want to give him any instructions. Uh-oh. Where did I okay, yeah, this is the right one. I don't want to paste it in the first video clipper. Okay, screenshot shows other task progress through milestone 10, including metadata CLI work. While this task stopped around milestone 7, I'll inspect both codec tasks read only, compare the actual milestone decisions, and recommend one canonical connection without changing or redoing project code. Brain fart. Wow, those are amazing. Yeah, that's the fun part. That's the fun part. You remember that. So, all right. So I found the distinction. Build Video Clipper is the older, more advanced task. Build Video Clipper is this continuation. I'm reading the older task recent milestone history now to determine whether it changed the same code base or only proposed different work. Well, we got a new roadmap. That's what I'm worried about. Hopefully, it could bring. Maybe it'll bring them into one video clipper conversation. It's necessary. It was compacted, so I don't know if it was consolidated. Okay, I checked both tabs. There are two conversation histories controlling the same smart video clipper code base, not two separate versions of the application. Do not redo Mouse 7 or anything earlier. The older build task already reached milestone 10 and verifies both transcript and no transcript pipelines with real media, real FF MPEG cutting, Whisper CUDA transcription, metadata generation, CLI processing, manifest.json output, a 73-minute video producing 13 clips successfully. Best approach, build the video clipper as the main canonical task. Stop using both tasks for implementation templating. Keep build video clipper 2 as research roadmap notes or archive it after transferring the conclusion. Add a brief roadmap alignment checkpoint, no rewriting. Change the next milestone from the proposed API work to milestone 11A. Version non-destructive edit manifest control. Okay, OTIO export and manual import test DaVinci Resolve. On Windows, creator editing profile, repeated take detection and rough cut recommendation, learn from corrected timelines and build evaluation sets, local API and job status level. In short, the existing engine is solid and ahead of this task history. We should preserve milestone 1 through 10 and continue by adding the new editing workflow features on top. How should I go by doing that? Is there a prompt? Is there a prompt you should give me to start from this new roadmap and build video clipper? Let me copy this. Is there a prompt you should give me to start from this roadmap? Right. Yes. Open the main conical build video clipper task and paste this prompt. By the way, guys, the best way to make these videos, it doesn't matter how you feel at the moment emotionally, I advise not to spill out the beans because one is unnecessary. That's not part of the video, right? And even though I'm teaching you guys how to move on forward, even if you're going through a specific state of mind, this is probably gonna be one of the I don't want to say last time, but basically this is gonna be a learning moment, and then after that, you guys got to take it from there. I'm not gonna remind you to stop doing this because it's just affecting my videos too. So let's go ahead and I gotta note that down by the way. Let's go ahead and copy this, and we're gonna go ahead and go to the first conversation, and we're gonna prompt him so like that we can basically bring over whatever ideas we had and build video clipper 2 and bring it over to our main older conversation. Right, that's what we're going to do. Paste this in here and press enter and let it do its magic. And why am I telling you this? To not express yourself to that extent when you're doing these videos, because you might feel like you're not doing the right thing, or you don't sound good, or you know things are just going completely bad, and then when you actually listen to yourself and you edit the videos, it sounds good. It sounds good. It really does. Just up the speed a little bit from 1.0 to 1.2, and then just listen to yourself. That's it, and you'll figure it out. Allow once. May I inspect the smart video clipper repository read only so I can so this might be a problem because he's not supposed to. Why does it keep going back up here? Oh, because of this guy right here. So I have a search bar open. Oh, look at that. Access is working now. I've confirmed the real source test layout and found no obvious timeline export modules. In the file turn next, I'm just gonna say allow similar commands. Like this is, he should, I gotta change this for real because this is just going to, it's just hindering the whole process. He should have ample permission to read and write on any folder he wants as long as he asks me permission before he does. And then once I say yes, there shouldn't be no, you can't read or write, which which has happened in the past. So he again, I'll perform a read-only architecture audit of the actual repository, trace the current manifest and processing contracts through their awaiting approval. Allow commands that start with get contents, and I did click here, and it's still, I still have to press allow and allow. Trace the current manifest and processing contracts through their test, then compare them against the resolve OTIO roadmap. No files will be modified. So repository access is working now. I confirmed the real source test layout and found no obvious timeline. Export modules and inventory. The current manifest is confirmed as metadata oriented. The record source path pipeline rendered clip path timing titles and warnings, but omits the chosen boundary evidence rationale, transcript timing reference, exact media rate time base, stable IDs, edit recovery histories, and original media relink data needed for dependable result interchange. I'm checking the probe and planner precision contracts now because frame rate time based choices are the main compatibility risks. It looks like there might be some technical difficulties, and I have to vet this information and make sure that it's done correctly, right? Hmm. I'm thinking about putting this on my first screen. This looks like it's taking longer than usual. Okay, so good. One critical implementation defect also surfaced during the audit. When the CLI supplies as a custom manifest path, the current writer computes the partial path as the same path as the final manifest. So that path is not truly atomic. That belongs in 11A as a surgical safety fix. I am doing one final primary source compatibility check. So roadmap alignment results. All right, this is where um we get our proper information to make a final decision whether my vetted analysis is going to go through um, correctly. So the roadmap is compatible with the existing architecture. Milestone 1 through 10 should remain intact. Milestone 11a should evolve manifest.json from a metadata report into a canonical source linked edit contract without exporting OTIO yet. This audit was read only. I did not modify files or run tests that could create artifacts. Faster whisper transcript pipeline. Okay. So looks like we're gonna update this stuff. Silence audio scene fallback. Duration save global planner. FMPEG cutter. Local metadata generation CLI and composition root. Atomic intent manifest writer. Planner remains final timing authority. In processor dot on TypeScript, real output manifest and render clips exist from both transcript and fallback runs. The project has no OTIO FCP XML caption or timeline export implementation. Professor research found only a future visual caption placeholder. So current manifest gaps. The existing 1.0 manifest contains original input path and file name, pipeline used, generated time, clip timing and render output path, title, description, keywords. It does not preserve complete source media metadata, exact rational frame. So basically what he's doing here is that he's verifying what we currently have versus what we're going to, eventually implement. Again, it does not preserve complete source media metadata, exact rational frame rate, time based source time code, stable assets, decisions, evidence timelines, and clips IDs, original media, relative relinking paths or files, URLs, planner, rational selected boundary component source scores, the bounded candidate evidence catalog, transcript availability, language timestamp summaries, requested processing mode, save configuration snapshots, application tool version. Patrocinando. Requested processing mode and save configuration snapshot application tool version rendered clips as explicitly identified derivatives. Recovery, relink information, migration, or reader support for previous manifest, canonical source linked. Timeline structure. The manifest currently treats rendered clips as the primary artifacts. For resolve, intro, interoperability, interoperability, interoperability. The original media plus source ranges must be authorities. Render clips should be optional derivatives. So important defects and compatibility with custom manifest paths are not truly atomic. When manifest path is supplied, partial path resolves to the same path. CLI jobs therefore do not actually write to a distinctive partial file before renaming. Evidence is lost during planning. Component scores exit on analysis candidates, but the planner normalized candidates drops them. The selected clip boundary consequently retains source reasons, scores, but not the complete evidence. Frame rate is reduced to a floating point number. Window paths are absolute only. Python compatibility for milestone 11B. The current Whisper environment uses Python 3. And when OTIO's document supported Python's range is presently not in, do not install into the working Whisper environment. A separate Python timeline worker is the safe later version. So recommendation. It looks like it's a lot of risk going on here. Is the change formats are not equally capable. No get repository is detected. Recommended milestone 11 scope. Create canonical manifest.json schema versions 2.0 while retaining the recognizable version 1 fields where practical and providing a version 1 reader migration path. The canonical contract should contain manifest identity, schema version, generation version, and creation time. Media assets designed for future multi-source editing, original source path, relative path, file URL size, duration, exact rational frame rate. Huh. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So decisions still open. Recommended defaults are shown. Canonical version, full transcript exclude from manifest, use a local sidecar later. Source hashing optional. Do not block processing on hashing large media. Timeline frame conforming. Defer snapping policy to 11B while preserve exact second and rational right now. I'm having second thoughts about this because there's a lot of risk going on. What I want to do is I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna give them this information once again, right? So we could start from fresh. I'm thinking about doing some version control here. I'm gonna try 11A, see where this takes me, and then after that, I'm gonna then going to get repository. Created canonical manifest.json schema version while retaining the recognizable version 1 fields where practical and providing version 1 migration path. The Chronicle contract should contain manifest identity, schema version, generator version, and creation time. Media assets designed for future multi-source editing. original source path, relative path, file URL, size, duration, codecs, dimensions, audio properties, exact rational frame rate fields while keeping existing numeric frame rate. Processing request. Processing request pipeline used, safe model setting summary and warnings, bounded analysis evidence, catalog with stable IDs, transcript summary without transcript text, source link edit decisions containing source ranges, planner rationale, and selected evidence reference existing metadata and provenance, rendered clips categorized as derivatives, no timeline authority, recover, relink, optional exception, namespace, related. So do not new manifest write schema 2.0. Existing sanitized version 1 manifest load and migrate in memory, no full transcript prompts, environment secrets, or raw FF MPEG log appear. Every edit decision references original media and preserves its exact final timestamp. All clips still sanctifies existing 300 or 420-second validations, selected boundary reasons, source scores, component scores, and safe metadata survive. Rational value from round trip exactly. Window paths with space and Unicode round trip and produce valid file URLs, stable IDs, and collection ordering are deterministic. Custom manifest paths use a generally distinct partial file, existing manifest overwrite rejection remain intact, rather output validate, reads back and migrates deterministically. Existing processes CLI cutter metadata transcript fallback and plan behavior remains unchanged. Type check test, build Python test, and problem diagnostic pass. So expected files to change to be type, probe, boundary planner, manifest, and processor. Relevant probe, planner, manifest, process, and CLI integration test. So likely new focus files. All right. So keep manifest data as existing public facade to avoid unnecessary import churns. No standard system tools necessary. 11A, because process video already creates a manifest. Its description test may be updated to state it returns the canonical edit manifest. Decision still open. Canonical version write 2.0 and migrate version 1.0. Full-time exclude from manifest. Use a local sidecar later. Source hashing optional. Do not block processing or hashing large media. Timeline frame conforming. Defer snapping policy to 11B while preserving exact seconds and rational rate now. All VFR media record flag do not silently claim frame. Accurate CFR. OTIO runtime. Separate Python 3.0 timeline worker and 11B. Git initialization handled separately with explicit permission. Now, I might just prompt him about creating the Git right now before we start anything, because I want to be able to revert if things don't go as prompted or as planned. So let's go ahead and do the Git version control right now, and I'm gonna let him do this as quick as possible. So he's gonna do it himself versus in my other videos, I usually do it based on his instructions, honestly, for practical purposes. I don't do this every day. Okay, so where is it? Oh no, there's 51 of these. Zero. GitHub. So where are we? All right, where is it? I know you're. This is milestone 7. Yeah. I lost this information. I can't find it. Hmm. I'll find it in a few seconds. Just our current no Git repository detected. So Git status reported that this folder is not Git repository. That does not block 11A, but source control recovery should be addressed separately. Okay, so basically, I think we should address source GitHub source control now. I don't want to lose all the work we put in. Period. I think this has to be capital. Why don't I have spelling check here? All right, press enter. I'm done with this spelling stuff. It's let's move on. All right, this is correct. All right, so let's see what he has for me right now. Uh-oh, this stuff again. Search bar. Yes, source control should become the immediate checkpoint before milestone 11A. I'll first audit Git ignore and identify generate the media, models, environments, secrets, and outputs that must never enter Git history. Yeah. Git ignore is just a file that you then put a specific line of text in there. Basically, files that you don't want to um you know, um, that you don't want to upload into the GitHub repository. So that's a good safety precaution you want to take. Then I'll give you the safe local Git and private GitHub sequence. No repository will be initialized or updated yet or uploaded yet. And I also need to open my VS Code and make sure. No, this window's opening up. Hmm, interesting. I wonder why. Let me open a new window. There you go. Let me close this one. So this has to have a repository. See, currently doesn't. So what are we working with here? And then connected to a private GitHub repository. My direct repository audit was blocked by the current codex file access boundary. So have Copilot perform the audit inside VS Code. Give Copilot agent this prompt. Okay, I am anchoring on the repository and current Git state first. The working hypothesis is that generated data environment artifacts are not fully excluded yet. The cheap check is to inspect plus a dry run git inventory before any edits. I found a root git ignore and confirm the repo has both Node and Python surfaces. Let's see. There's a git ignore. Yeah, I recall seeing it. Look at it right here. What's in there? These are all the files that we're gonna ignore. And now we just added a whole bunch more. All right. Allow. Let me press keep for now. Allow. It already covers a few obvious paths, but it does not yet cover broader data. Caches 10 files or largely generated media patterns. I am collecting a repo-wide inventory now, so the ignore update can stay precise and we can report exactly what would be before staging. This next batch inventory candidates generated files, oversized files, and likely media artifacts like an update. Once and then prove what stays out of the commit. And this is the inventory confirms the main risk. Large generated media on the data and Python environments under both root and AI are now extracting a concise file list and checking for secrets so the get ignore patch covers the actual response or not a generic template. I've confirmed the oversized files are exactly where expected. Virtual environment, node on modules, and generated media and data before editing. I am checking for placeholder file and current data directory patterns so the ignore rules exclude broadly without swallowing international git keep files. So I have enough evidence to make the one targeted edit broaden, get ignored to cover both current generated paths and the other artifacts classes you explicitly called out while preserving and any future git keep placeholders after that. I'll initialize git and get its own ignore contract view as the discriminating check. So the git ignore patch is in place. The immediate validation is to initialize git and inspect the ignore on track split, which will tell us whether the new rules actually suppress the generated media environments without hiding the source tree. Git is initialized, so I can now validate. Let me press allow. The ignore rules with Git's own view instead of file system heuristics. This batch gathers the exact pre-stage inventory, includable files, ignore paths, and any style visible secrets of binary candidates. So the Git view is clean now. Source test docs, manifest configs, and requirements are visible. The generated data, build outputs, and modules. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of information here. I was hoping to read it all, but this is going to take more time than necessary and available. All right, great. So this is the final response, I believe. Let me see what he tells me here. So the first commit protects the source locally. After Copilot reports success, we'll create a private GitHub repository named Smart Video Clipper, connect it as origin, and push main. Important GitHub should contain the code, not your large source video. Render clips, whisper models, virtual environments, or secrets. Backup valuable media output folder separately. Okay, so let me give them the final and see what I get from them. Well, let's see. Let me know if you need more information from Git Copilot. Excellent. The project is now safely checkpoint locally at commit. Let me look at this. Great. Looking good, looking good. Okay. One item needs resolution before GitHub. VS Code is on track. So the working tree is not completely clean. Ask Copilot this. After that report, we'll resolve VS Code, create a private smart video clipper GitHub repository, and push main. No additional application testing is needed right now. Okay, right. Let me close this. I want to, matter of fact, I'm gonna close just about everything. Let me close all. Let me give him this prompt. I'm auditing the on-track VS Code directory as is and checking the requested GitHub CLI command. First, he's going to inventory the file, read their content, and collect the commands. Okay, good. And the next step is to stage only extension.json, setting.json for review without touching anything else. So I'll be back. So he says here both VS Code files are safe and should be committed. Before creating the GitHub Start to confirm one important detail, the Smart Server will be created under the currently active account. Is that GitHub account? Yes. No, no, no. Te lo llamo ahora. So I have to change. I don't know why the terminals aren't matching, I guess. The VS Code count is Cypher 2079, but the GitHub CLI is still using do not click publish branch yet. Give Copilot this code. But why is it in? All right. Better be safe than sorry, huh? Okay, so he's switching the accounts. I am proceeding with only the two VS Code files, then I'll validate the stage diffs and create the commit. The stage set is exactly the two requested files, and the cache deferred check is clean. I am creating the commit. Now confirming the working tree state before any remote action. The working tree is clean after commit. Next, I'm checking whether Smart Video Clipper already exists so we don't reuse or overwrite an unrelated repository. The target does not exist, so I can safely create it as new private backup and push the current main branch. The target set does not exist. Okay, good. So he's gonna get remote, repo view, JSON, visibility. Okay. Okay, great. So now let me give him the final response. The GitHub CLI account was switched successfully, verified as the active account, and I stopped only after that check passed, then staged only extensions and settings. Ran git differ cache check, committed them, confirmed the tree was clean, verified that Cypher 2079 did not already exist, created it as a private repository, and pushed the main. Let's give my other user agent senior developer this information. Okay, so success. Project is now safely backed up to the current private GitHub repository. Great. Current state, local and remote main branches match. Working trees clean. Milestone 1 to 10 are preserved. Generated videos, models, dependency outputs, and secrets were excluded. Yeah, that's fine. And dependencies. Dependency is in the node node module, right? That folder is never pushed or committed to GitHub. So we can now process milestone 11A chronicle version, non-destructive edit manifest. From now on, each complete milestone should receive its own commit and push after that validation. Okay, okay, let's do it. Let's start milestone 11A. It's a little nerve-wracking. Something that you worked on and now it has a lot of risk, potential risk, because you're gonna add new options and features to it, right? What if it breaks? That's definitely uh, possible, but that's not where we're gonna go. We're gonna make this work. Mm-mm. We're definitely gonna make it work. So let's go ahead. By the end of today, we're gonna have a working video editing application, AI user agent video editing application. So, okay, so give GitHub Code Agent this implementation prompt. All right, so let's do it. So wait till he's done. Yeah, this could be quite lengthy because there's a lot of introductions to new features coming in. So they might be a little um edits on previous files that we've already created. And then we have to move the bits and pieces to different places, from old places to new places, right? Because there's new technologies being introduced. So all these movements and transactions are definitely going to take quite a toll and time for it to be um implemented, right? So in plain terms, milestone 11A changes the manifest from a simple output report into the durable editing blueprint for the project. It will remember what source was used, what edits were chosen, why they were chosen, and how later resolved timeline files can relink everything without modifying the original video. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. There's no running around the bush this time. I'm focusing on this, and we're gonna make it done. We're gonna get it done. That's just that simple. I'm glad that he can take these long prompts or skills and able to make something of it. Apply and compile all this information. Right? It's quite lengthy. You're gonna allow. And verifying the repo state and branching first, then I'll inspect the manifest planner, pro processor, and schema code to form one local implementation path before editing. Okay, so I have the controlling path processor on TypeScript, assemble the manifest context, write version 1, drop component scores, and switch into the milestone branch. Okay. There's a lot going on right now. The planner now preserves on normalized and selected boundaries. Selection logic is untouched. I'm running the narrow planner. This is 2 out of 10. I have enough context now to make the main contract change. The implementation will stay on the existing path. Additive type extensions, a version 2 manifest builder, writer with validator plus migration helper, and targeted pipeline metadata flow into processor rather than a new planning or execution layer. So I'm moving into the main additive implementation now. New manifest contracts, validator. Okay. Probe pipelines and processor into them. After that, I'll backfill the focus test against the new contract and bug fix. Hmm. The context plumbing is added, but process TS still needs a small type cleanup before writer validation. I'm fixing that inline while I replace the manifest writer with the canonical version 2 builder and automatic atomic rate validation path. Just keep. He's gonna delete manifest or delete it already. We're still 2 out of 10. That's a lot of work. I'm turning the new contract into test now. The focus is on the risky slice first. Manifest version shape, version 2 shape, migration, validation, exact frame rates, evidence preservation, path safety. Okay. I've covered the contract heavy unit slice. The remaining gap is proving the existing processor integration still emits a valid manifest through the unstaged orchestration path, so I am adding one focus end-to-end processor assertion next. Okay, he's running the test. There's gonna be an error or two. The failures are local informative. The planner fix is correct, but the new test over assumed boundary choice. And the manifest test context was the focus slice is green now, including the new contract. Okay. Wow, this is a lot. So the bills are clean. Let's see what's going to happen now. We're calling out workers, Python workers. I've now attached our credits to those exact. Now we're gonna run another test. Car validation is green. I am doing the optional practical check now with a one fresh real media fallback CLI run. It's a brand new output directory. Let's keep this. Don't tell me these are one of the hang-ups here. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. So let me give him this response because this is quite lengthy. I'm not gonna read all this. I have errands to run. The wife is waiting for me to do something besides this, though she knows how important this is. Show in text field. In plain text, milestone changes the manifest and how later resolved timeline files can relink everything without modifying the original. So milestone limit pass senior review. Implementation matches the roadmap version 2 remains backward compatible. Preserve exact media timing, boundary evidence. So fixes automatic writings and establish the non-destructive foundations needed for resolve exports. The two stated limitations are acceptable, and correctly deferred. Now checkpoint it through a pull request. Give Copilot. Yes. Small recap. The manifest is now the project's durable editing blueprint. Let me give him this. I got a little hair sticking out here. It's just bugging me. Small recap. The manifest is now the project's durable editing blueprint, not merely a list of rendered files. After the pull request is created and reviewed, we can merge it and begin milestone 11B. Open timeline IO export for DaVinci Resolve. Right, I think I'm gonna go do that one real quick. Then I'm gonna put this video. No, I'm gonna have to do this when I come back. Take quite some time. All right. Milestone 11A is safely committed, pushed, and isolated in PR number 1. Nothing has reached main yet, which is correct. Next, we should perform a final PR review, and if the div and checks are clean, merge it into main, then delete the feature branch. After that, milestone 11B can begin from the updated main. Would you like Copilot to review and merge PR1 now? I'm just gonna say sure. Okay. Once they succeed, milestone 11A will officially be part of main. All right. I'm not sure what this is. PR contents are consistent with the review milestone. There are no generated outputs. Okay. PR1 was opened, not a draft. Mergeable was mergeable. Base was made. Head was, and the PR file is match only the review milestone 11A, non-generated media. Output, secret environments, dependencies on model files were present. A GitHub PR checks check checks one reported no configure checks on the branch, so there were no failing or pending required checks to block merge. Merge commit hash PR state. Hey Gemini, what's PR state and GitHub mean?
GitHub, a PR or pull request state tells you the current status of that request. The main states you'll see are open, which means the changes are being reviewed and discussed, merged, indicating the changes have been accepted and integrated into the main codebase, and closed, which means the PR was either rejected or abandoned without being merged. Would you like to know more about how to manage these states or perhaps about the review process itself?
All right, so just needed a little back backdrop of what PR is. It's been a while, so all right, let's go ahead and move along. Let's give them this last response. Copy final response. Okay. Officially complete and safely merge into main. Current state. Conical Manifest version 2 is production code. PR1 is merge. Local and remote main match. Feature branches were cleaned up. Working tree is clean. Full history remains preserved. Next is going to be milestone 11B, open timeline IO export for DaVinci Resolve on Windows. This will convert the canonical manifest into a non-destructive editable timeline linked to the original video, followed by a real manual import test and resolve. This is the stage that I want to reach right now, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. What time is it? Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. I'll frame the milestone 11 around its separate Python timeline workers so the working Whisper environment remains untouched. The exploiter will read Canonical Manifest version 2 and produce a source linked OTIO timeline. Resolve import validation will remain a manually documented acceptance step. So We're playing it safe. We don't want to go ahead and mess around with Whisper at the moment because that's our working environment at the moment. That's the one that we last worked on. So it looks like they're not completely in agreement when it comes to the contracts and all that, you know. So we don't want to mess around with that Whisper at the moment. We're gonna go ahead and create a different timeline, I believe. That's what he called it, right? A non-destructive edible timeline linked to the original video. Actually, which stores timeline metadata without bundling the source video. Eventual Result supports importing this format in native OTIO JSON included in the core OpenTime IO package. OpenTime IO currently supports Python 3.9 and 12. We must keep it in a separate Python 3.12 worker rather than the Python 3.14 Whisper environment. Wow, this is quite lengthy, let me tell you. This is going to be the most lengthy one that we're going to work on right now. Do not commit or push. Stop for senior review. The system note. The new export OSHIO timeline schema will later let the system request a resolve ready timeline while the actual export remains constrained to the validated canonical manifest. So let's go ahead and copy this and get this to the best senior code developer in the world. Gid Copilot. Let's give him a round of applause, people. He's doing an amazing job at the moment. I have no complaints. And let's go ahead and give him this 25 long page skill prompt. Let me tell you how he works it out. Let's watch the magic unfold. So he's gonna verify the main and Python 3.12 availability. Okay. It's not installed here, so it's going to have to install. He's going to still implement the no adapter, isolator, worker layout, test, as CLI wiring, and docs without touching the existing Whisper. So he's creating the milestone branch and reading the current CLI package surface. I've confirmed the existing CLI shape is still the milestone 9. Okay. This is nail biting. He's going to start the implementation, the new time to export modules, and isolate worker files so the features can compile and be tested independently off the processor path. After that, I'll write the explicit command and add the environment documentation updates around 3.12. So we had to downgrade Python from 3.14 to 3.12, which is a legacy application, in order for it to communicate with the IOTIO. Hmm. So the new node export path and worker skeletons are in place. I'm filling in the Python work implementation next, and I'll wire scripts. I use diagnostics to close the compile gaps before full. Before full validation. I finished the isolated worker code path. The next step is making the export command testable from node. I am adding focus TypeScript test for the exporter, CLI, and environment gated integration path before I write scripts by vars in the new systems. Okay, so now it's testable. We're gonna go ahead and run some tests. This is usually the stage that's getting closer to the final stage. This is one of the final stages. Yeah, it usually fails on the first or second try, second test. The failures are local to the new OSHIO test. The in-memory file system was storing raw/variants. The manual shield test failure is purely mechanical. The test file uses normalized but never imported it. Fixing that import and returning the same focus. So the last test was assuming a legacy version 1 manifest can export without any source frame rate data. Okay. Now he's going to move the required repo wide validation. Now type check. Full node test build existing whisper worker test. Okay. And you click allow. This is where it gets scary. Yeah. 46. Huh? Oh, great. Look like it passed. We're clean now and return the full node suite. One final code. It looked like it passed again. And it's gonna run version 3.12. Mm-hmm. He needs to untrack the additions as well. Since most of the new options, okay. Okay, look at that. Final results, huh? Well, looks promising. Working tree status not clean by design with the milestone 11B changes present and uncommitted. No commit, push, merge, or pull request was created. Okay, let's copy the response. Let's give it to our main senior developer here, ChatGPT. Let's make sure that it's shown in text. Let me move this over here. Give them this information. Okay, the TypeScript side is successful, but monster limit is not complete because the actual Python exporter has never run. We need Python 3.12 besides Python 3.14. It will not replace the Whisper environment and PowerShell. Let's run this one so we can install. After installation, run this in my PowerShell. Control backtick. Control V. Not Control C. Control V. We're installing it, and we found it, and it's been installed. 3.12. Okay, what's next? Installation. Close the VS Code terminal and open a new one. Then we need to verify this. All right. All right. All right. So, um, do not create the timeline virtual environment until the verification post succeeds. Send me the results, and then we'll create the isolated OSHIO environment. Run its 20 Python test, generate a real OSHIO. I'm pronouncing that. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, import it into result. I never understood what this meant here. Control Alt print screen. What is the dot v env for, and are we done? Are we done here? Is isolated Python toolbox for one part of the project. It keeps that component Python version and package separate from everything else. This project now needs two distinctive environments. The terminal currently shows because the unrelated root level is activated. That is not the timeline environment. We're not done yet, but Python is first deactivate the current environment. Well, I have to restart it first. I have not restarted VS Code yet. That's okay, since Python 3.12 was just installed, restart VS Code first. So new terminal inherits the updated Python launcher configuration. Save anything open, close VS Code completely, reopen folder, open a brand new PowerShell terminal. And we need to verify this. Let's just close this. Let's reopen it. Here we have a new terminal. And let me wait. Wait for a few seconds for it to configure itself. Okay, so let me go ahead and run the version for alt print. If that shows Python, create the correct isolated timeline environment without activating it. So let me go ahead and do this. There's one error. Hmm. Yes, but it is test launch location error, not an open timeline IO installation failure. Success shown. Python 3.0 virtual environment was created. Open timeline um, installed successfully. The test cannot import the local timeline package because it was launched from the repository. We'll run it from the timeline worker directory. Okay. Push location temporarily enters the worker's folders and pop location returns you to the project root. Afterwards, send me the resulting test output. Okay, control print. Okay, let's change. Success. The timeline worker is now operational. Python 3.12 environment works. Open time. Timeline IO 0.18.1 loads correctly. All 9 timelines worker test pass. The earlier error was only caused by running tests from the wrong directory, not generated a real file from the milestone 11A validation manifest. If successful, it should report timeline output pass, video clip count, audio clip count, frame rate, timeline duration. This export should be quick because it writes only editing instructions. It does not render or copy video. Send me the terminal results before opening result. Now generate, okay. So now we're gonna generate. I think this is it. Multiple screen. The audio content was generated successfully. 2 video clips to match an audio clip, 600 seconds timeline, source link rough cut. However, there is a suspicious detail. The success message says the written path ends in partial yeah. We need verify whether that is merely a reporting bug or whether the temporary file was never renamed. I don't think they use partial. So expected safe result, final is true, partial is false. Doesn't say anything. Okay, final is true, partial is false. But even if that is the result, the application should report the final path rather than the temporary path. So we may have a small response mapping bug to fix before importing. Okay, the automatic file behavior is correct. Final, temporary remove, final files. So this reporting bug only. So this is the exporter returns or displays temporary path after successfully renaming it. Give Copilot the surgical fix. So this is a surgical fix. We're gonna go ahead and rip open and then stitch it back up and take whatever bug we have in there and stitch it back up, right? So this is okay. All right. Do not import into resolve yet. Once the CLI reports the final path correctly, we'll perform the real result validation. Okay. So he's running some tests, right? Uh-oh, we got an error. These apply minimum fixes in the Python service. Then I'll add focus regression. I'm getting tired. So two tests failed due to assumptions only. Human progress goes to. All requirement runs including a row export. I'm collecting exact change. File line references now so I can give you a precise root cause trace and verification report. So all right. Let's go in the final response. Let's see. The exporter is not technically valid. The last acceptance step is a row DaVinci resolve import. Import into resolve. Keep the original source video in its current location. Open DaVinci resolve. Create a disposable project name. Okay. Select file, import timeline. Okay. I gotta open up DaVinci resolve. It's gonna be quite taxing. We're gonna select it from the timeline, import timeline. We're gonna choose the video. When the load O shield dialog appears, pause and send me a screenshot before. What's this one? Okay, so um okay. File import timeline. when the expected results after implementation. Shoot. Fuck. Excuse my language, people. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Send me a screenshot before confirming if any option is unclear. What happened was when I entered this path into the file explorer, open with the dialog box popped open and it wasn't correct. I was supposed to get the load OSHIO or OTIO dialog first. I got it now, so let's see what he says. I have to come back. Alright, I'm back. Oh boy. Let's see what's going on here. So you give them this. The dialogue is mostly correct, but do not click OK yet. Result currently displays a 24 FPS timeline, and we must confirm that matches the source. Importing at the wrong frame rate could shift boundaries. Let's see. Um, so we want to know what the FPS is, right? It's 15 by Okay, so the source video is resolution is 315 FPS. That explains why results show this normal project default. Okay, this synthetic test video uses unusually low settings. Real footage would normally be 1080 by 24 to 60 FPS. That's what I was wondering. Reopen the import dialog and use automatically set project settings. Checked. Automatically import source clips into media pool. Checked. Ignore file extensions when matching unchecked. Import multi-channel audios linked groups. Leave the disable resolution frame rate field alone. Click OK. Resolve may keep a 24 FPS timeline because 15 is not a typical resolve timeline rate that is acceptable for this capability compatibility test as long as the source import successfully. There are two videos and two video clips. After clicking OK, send a screenshot and press OK. The clip was not found. Do you want to select another folder? Let me access how to do it. output. M11 validation 1023. Smart video. There's no smart video. Oh yeah, there is. 1023. Output. Outputs, right? 1023. 1023. And then smart video, smart video. Which one do we want? Smart video clipper 201102. So this is the one we're trying to pick here, but I'm not sure. And I didn't do anything different here, so. Control Alt print screen. It says it's not found, but it's clearly there, so. The name, this means resolve imported the timeline instruction but could not automatically locate the reference source file. That is a relink event, not a failed timeline import yet. Click yes, then choose the folder. Do not select the generated clips or output directory, so should search that folder and find. Click yes. And look for program execution right here. And then go to smart videos. Video clipper and go to data and then work. All right. That's okay. Let's see what happens here. Oh, look at that. Control Alt print screen. Should search that folder and find cutter source 600. It looks like it found the actual file we were looking for in the first place. It looks successful. If resource finds it, continue the import and verify the timeline. If it still cannot find the clip, click cancel and send the next message, and then we'll inspect the target URL stored inside of for Windows URI compatibility. Record this result as automatic linked failed manual folder relink request. Not sure what he means by this. We're reconnecting, and he's thinking at the same time. He's done it before. So the screenshot confirms the major result validation points passed. OSHIA timeline imported successfully. Non-UV link and found. The original source. No media offline. Frames are visible. Timeline duration is exact. 2 video sections are visible. Audio is present. A1 is for audio. Okay. V1 is for video. The original source clip appears in the media pool. The edit remains linked to the original media rather than rendered clip files. One final playback check remains. Move the playhead to approximately 1 hour and 58 seconds. Play across where the two files clips meet. Confirm video continues normally. Audio plays and remains synchronous. No black offline frame appears. The second clip starts successfully. The timeline begins at 1000. So the 5-minute cut occurs around 105. If that playback works, manual result validation passes and we can finalize milestones 11B. So let me start at 104. Playhead 104. All right. 104 is right there, I think. 104.58. Yeah, that's about right. Let's click play. Wait, what happened? Let me see. Okay, good. He's fine. That's good. And this is where that is. You could barely see it though. I wonder why. Let me stop it and let me maximize it. How do you maximize this again? There used to be a little lever here. I don't think it's. Is it like this? No. Let's zoom in. View. Playback. Maybe if I go to this one right now, it'll be easier. Yeah. Like yeah, here it is. So this is where the cut happens right here. And yeah, that's it right there. Great. So everything looks good. Video continues normally. Audio plays remains synchronized. No black offline frame appears. The second clip starts successfully. Okay. Yep, we good. Yep, we good. Everything. Video and audio remain synchronized. Remain synchronized. Just no black slash offline frames and second clip proceeds. Okay, so what's 11B? So now it passes. So manual DaVinci Resolve validation passes. Milestone 11B now satisfies its final acceptance criterions. Results only when imported the Ultio file. Original source was relinked manually. 2 videos and 2 audio clips were present. Okay, so it was relinked manually, meaning that the clips that we clipped are now relinked manually. That's good. Time lag duration was 10 minutes. Cut occurred around 5 minutes. Audio remained synchronized. No black or offline frame appeared. Second clip played correctly. Give Copilot the final checkpoint prompt. Small recap. We have now proven the application can turn its AI editing decisions into an edible resolved timeline without rendering another video or changing original source. Let me see something. So if I were to, it's linked, isn't it? Why isn't it not? It's supposed to take both of them, no? So I can now do this. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, I'll return to this. It's been on a great pleasure working with you guys. I'll see you guys later. I have to log off and start running some errands. Thank you for joining me. This was quite a challenge today. I didn't wake up in the best of moods, but we still chugged through and we managed to get some results. I'll see you guys in a few. Thank you.